Story appears ordinary until you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTv News, expanding your view.
Hello there and welcome to CoreTv News on the Hour with me, Sabena Izuku. Members of the People's Democratic Party in the House of Representatives have described the ongoing move to impeach Jonathan as a joke, warning that it will be an exercise in futility. Members of the PDP caucus stated that no member of the ruling party would be a party to the forces. The PDP lawmakers insisted that Jonathan had not committed any impeachable offense since he became the president. On Thursday, about 113 members of the House, said to be members of the All Progressive Congress, allegedly signed a document seeking to remove Jonathan from office as president. The sponsors of the plot were said to have wanted to table a motion for Jonathan's impeachment on Thursday, using the opportunity of the reconvening of the House, which reportedly led to the massive deployment of security forces in the National Assembly and prevention of lawmakers from gaining entry. The lawmakers representing Essen Northeast and Essen Southeast in the House of Representatives under the PDP, Friday Itula, described the impeachment move against Jonathan as a journey in futility. Albert Akintoye, who is representing the Irele Okitipupa constituency in Ondo State, Stella Dogo of Sagbama, Ekeremo in Bayelsa State, and Adewusi Rasak from Ogun State, all backed Itula's assertion that the move is an exercise in futility and will fall flat on his face. The All Progressive Congress has condemned Saturday's invasion of its office in Lagos by security agents, calling it perhaps the worst political scandal in Nigeria's history. In a statement on Saturday in Ijebu-Ode, Ogun State, by National Publicity Secretary La Mohammed, the party said the invasion can only be likened to the Watergate scandal that led to the resignation of U.S. President Richard Nixon in 1974 as a result of the June 17, 1972 break-in at the Democratic National Committee headquarters at the Watergate office complex in Washington, D.C., and the attempted cover-up of his involvement by the Republican Nixon administration. It therefore called for an independent inquiry to fish out those who ordered the needless and unprovoked attack on the offices of the APC and ensure that they face very serious consequences irrespective of their status. Speaker of the House of Representatives, Aminu Tambuwal, has said he is prepared to honor any invitation from the police. Speaking through his media aide, Imam, the Speaker said in a statement that he enjoys no immunity, so he's willing to respond to any lawful invitation. He, however, expressed dismay at what he described as the unprofessional conduct of the police in attempting to stop him from presiding over a special session he called an emergency room. Tambuwal also lashed out at the police for claiming that he arrived at the National Assembly with a motley crowd. He insisted that he was at the complex with other federal legislators and expressed concern that the lawmakers were described as a motley crowd in a police statement. Inspector General of Police Suleiman Abba has denied ordering the arrest of Speaker of the House of Representatives Aminu Tambuwal. He, however, did not rule out the arrest of anyone found involved in what he described as an attack on the police or disturbing public peace at the National Assembly. Police spokesman Emmanuel Juku quotes the IG as saying that it is the responsibility of investigating police officers to determine who to invite for questioning or prosecution. The IG has meanwhile ordered an investigation into the death of police inspector at a political rally in the Oke-Odo area of Ibadan in Oyo State. He described the attack on the police personnel as unwarranted and reaffirmed his warning to politicians to desist from using thugs. Human rights activist and lawyer Femi Falana says reasons given by the Inspector General of Police on the deployment of his men to lay siege on the National Assembly is unacceptable. He described the action of the police as contemptuous, illegal, criminal, and unwarranted, and an attempt by the authority to reduce Nigeria to a banana republic.
I have read the belated rejoinder of or explanation of the Inspector General of Police, which cannot be taken very seriously. He is saying that they got information, as usual, that hoodlums were going to take over the National Assembly. Since the hoodlums did not take over the National Assembly, the police decided to behave like the hoodlums by throwing tear gas at the Speaker and other members of the House of Representatives, including some senators who were seen in the vicinity. This is unacceptable. But you can be sure that what the government wanted to do was to install a minority leadership on the House. And you know, in Nigeria now, 16 is greater than 19 in the NGF. In Rivers, 5 is greater than 28. In those states, 5 is greater than 20. And in Ekiti, 7 is greater than 19. That is the new democratic situation in Nigeria.
A coalition of civil society groups, the Stop Immunity Nigeria campaign, is demanding the resignation of the Inspector General of Police, Suleiman Abba, over the recent police action at the National Assembly. This, according to the coalition, is because the policemen were out to prevent the House of Representatives from considering President Goodluck Jonathan's request for extension of emergency rule in Adamawa, Yobe and Borno states. It argues in a statement signed by Bolaji Owasonye that the police action not only dishonored the legislature but also ridiculed Nigeria in the eyes of the international community. The coalition also dismissed the skews of intelligence reports given by the police, especially as the leadership of the National Assembly was not informed of the invasion. Former Vice President and presidential aspirant Atiku Abubakar is in Birni Kebbi in continuation of his campaign for the presidential ticket of the All Progressive Congress. He was welcomed on arrival by the APC chairman in Kebbi State, Atahiru Masido, before holding a closed-door meeting with stakeholders of the party secretariat. The former vice president had in Edo State before traveling to Birni Kebbi as part of a nationwide shuttle to meet delegates ahead the APC December 10th presidential primary. After the break, APC and PDP have to continue to bicker over the controversial impeachment of Adewale Omiri. Do stay with us.
You can now watch CoreTv News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTv Primetime News.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTv News, a 24-hour news station.
Welcome back to the news. For more information, you can reach us on our social media platform on facebook.com/CoreTv News and on Twitter at CoreTv News NG, on our YouTube, youtube.com/CoreTv, leave a space and the news. The APC and the PDP have continued to bicker over the controversial impeachment of Adewale Omiri as the Speaker of the Ekiti State House of Assembly on Thursday. Rashid reports that the leadership of the two parties in the state have been engaged in a heated argument over the development. His report.
The war of words appear not over as the already frosty relationship between the Ekiti PDP and APC, particularly after the Ekiti State House of Assembly incident where PDP lawmakers sacked the Adewale Omiri-led House leadership, thickens. A former governor of the state and national vice chairman of APC, Shegun Oni, described the drama as shameful. even as the Ekiti PDP chairman maintains the decision of the PDP lawmakers is sacred.
If the legislative arm can suffer that fate, this is madness that is infectious, not only contagious, it is infectious.
There is nothing illegal if somebody is doing something wrong constitutionally that such person is removed. There's nothing illegal in that aspect. And I presume the former speakers had overstepped his bounds administratively and politically and constitutionally. So if he's removed, there's nothing bad in that.
Both parties also trade words on the intrigues surrounding the quorum.
If they say there are 10 people, what are the names of the other 3? We know everybody that was elected. If they brought mercenaries, it will tell you the extent to which these people can go.
I don't believe that they have not found quorum. What the constitutions, they follow the due process and they follow what the constitutions, what is stipulated in the constitution. So for somebody to have been removed and for him to kick back and start telling the whole world that the place is not constitutional, where was he when they were impeached?
There is no end in sight as both men appear spoiled for war.
They are not interested in decency. They are not interested in governance. These people are not decent at all. They are desperate. They are wicked.
For us and for Ekiti indigenous, for an average Ekiti man, we believe that the deed is done and is done in good faith and is recognized by government and for the people with the state.
And as parties on both sides of the divide continue to maintain their positions, political observers are of the view that government's responsibility to the people will ultimately suffer. Rashid, CoreTv News, Ado Ekiti.
Despite the Ekiti State House of Assembly saga, the political activities in the state are moving on unhindered as political parties get ready for the 2015 general elections. The PDP and the APC Secretariat are very busy screening aspirants seeking slots at the National Assembly in 2015 and welcoming those submitting their interest forms. This, however, did not go without comments by the politicians on both sides of the divide on political developments in the state and around Nigeria. Once again, Rashid has the story.
Though here for their own political aspirations, the Ekiti House of Assembly row and the police attack on the National Assembly did not escape their attention.
It's not going to work if it thinks it can achieve whatever I want to achieve through backdoor. And this is an embarrassing act to Ekiti State. It's a disgraceful act to Ekiti people. And we are ashamed as a people that this is happening again in Ekiti State.
And the tide of that politically things are going in Nigeria is not favorable to PDP anymore because they failed us as a nation. A lot of things would have changed by the time we are having that election, I can assure you.
The APC aspirants are of the firm belief that in spite of their present status as the opposition party, victory is sure for them in the 2015 general elections.
So I believe that APC has a fantastic chance in Ekiti and also a beautiful, excellent chance at the federal level.
I'm very confident that I will emerge in the forthcoming primaries, and outside of this, it is in the interest of the constituency to send me back there, having known the intricacies in the National Assembly, in the House of Rep.
But the Ekiti PDP leadership was quick to dismiss the APC's victory assurance and reiterates its readiness to deliver Ekiti for President Goodluck Jonathan and sweep all the National Assembly seats in the state.
On record that the screening exercise for the National Assembly contestants went successfully in Ekiti State.
And I assure the state, and I'm assuring the whole nation, we have nothing less than 90% of the next vote for Mr. President, and we will have all the House of Assembly, God being our helper, all the rep and Senate in Ekiti State, we win for PDP.
There is a strong belief among all the aspirants that the development in the last 1 week in the state and at the national level will surely play a big impact on the quest and outcome of the 2015 general elections. Rashid, CoreTv News, Ado Ekiti.
The Ekiti State Police Command said it has received intelligence report that some groups of people were planning to invade the state to disrupt the existing peace and cause breakdown of law and order. The alert is coming a few days after the embattled Speaker of the Ekiti State House of Assembly, Adewale Omiri, and 18 other lawmakers of the All Progressive Congress promised to return to the state after self-exile. The Police Commissioner Taiwo Lokonu, in a statement issued in Ado-Ekiti on Saturday by the Police Public Relations Officer Victor Babayemi, warned politicians to refrain from taking laws into their hands and desist from the use of thugs to pursue their agenda. The police vowed to use all means legally permitted to prevent breakdown of law and order in any part of the state and prosecute offenders. Meanwhile, Omiri has asked the people to hold Fayose responsible for any breakdown of law and order in the state. The Ogun State chapter of the People's Democratic Party has said Governor Ibikunle Amosun romance with former President Olusegun Obasanjo will not save him from being defeated at the poll in 2015. The state chairman of the party, Adebayo Dayo, stated that the ex-president will not work for the APC but PDP, where he is a founding father. Dayo stressed that the leaders of the PDP in the state were resolving the issues on the part to gain the momentum enough to unseat the ruling APC. The state publicity secretary of the APC, Shola Lawa, however, says the relationship between the elder statesman and the governor is a family affair, positing that the PDP is myopic and backward with its definition of the relationship. The interaction between Amosun and Obasanjo had always been there, even before Amosun came into politics. The relationship is due to politics or political gains. He concluded that Amosun had made gains politically through his performance as governor of the state. And over to health matters, the National Health Insurance Scheme says more Nigerians will benefit from government's health intervention in the days ahead. The National Health Insurance Scheme Executive Secretary Femi Thomas gave the assurance at a news conference in Abuja. He insisted that the National Health Insurance Scheme has surpassed its 2014 coverage target and is now working on a new platform using mobile phones.
I'm happy to report to you, gentlemen of the media, and through you to all Nigerians as well as the global community, that we have completed the molding of the building blocks. We have laid crucial structures and have commenced the implementation of certain strategies to make health insurance easy and accessible to all Nigerians. The current position of Nigeria in terms of UHC, that's Universal Health Coverage, came out of the last National Council of Health held in Uyo a few days ago. And therefore, we Nigerians have adopted 2020 as the year for universal health coverage attainment in Nigeria. That was the decision of the Council. Incidentally, like I said, there are three elements there. That is removal of physical barrier. That is making sure that there are facilities manned by competent hands and well-equipped for service. That is one element. The other element is ability for people to be able to pay. To scale this hurdle, it will require that the financial barriers are removed.
We'll take another break, and when we return this time, it will be stories outside Nigeria. Do stay with us.
CoreTv News, expanding your view.
Welcome back to the news. Reports from the FBN Capital says all theft and delay in the passing of the Petroleum Industry Bill has kept Nigeria's oil output and exploration activities below potential in the short term. In the 2013 budget, the country had targeted 2.53 million barrels per day, but the actual production for 2013 averaged 2.2 million barrels per day. 2014 oil production targeted was set at 2.388 million barrels per day, but production so far averaged 2 million barrels per day amid the spate of oil theft and pipeline vandalism. For 2015, the government is projecting oil output of 2.278 million barrels per day, which is more than 100,000 barrels per day less than this year's projection. Oil theft of 200,000 to 300,000 barrels per day was robbing the government of revenue that could have been used to meet its cash obligations to oil companies. Also leakages of pipelines. According to the United States Energy Information Administration, exploration activities are currently at their lowest level, with only 3 exploratory wells drilled in 2011 in comparison with 20 wells drilled in 2005. The 2014 oil production projection, the government applied a risk factor of 300,000 barrels per day due to production shut in resulting from activities of oil thieves and pipeline vandals in late 2012 and early 2013. However, risk factors had been reduced to 150,000 barrels per day due to improved government efforts and tackling setbacks in the oil sector. Now, Nigeria gunmen from Somali militant group Al-Shabaab say they have attacked a bus in northern Kenya and killed 28 people. The bus was traveling to the capital Nairobi when it was stopped in Mandera County, not far from the Somali border. Witnesses say the gunmen separated out non-Muslims by asking passengers to read from the Quran. Those who failed were shot in the head. Al-Shabaab has carried out a series of attacks in Kenya since 2011. The statement on the website linked to the Islamist group says the attack was carried out in retaliation for security raids on mosque in the coastal city of Mombasa earlier this week. Kenya's Interior Ministry said on its Twitter feed that a camp belonging to the attackers had been destroyed by Kenya's military helicopters and jets, with many killed. One of the passengers on the bus said there were more than 60 passengers on board when it was attacked before dawn on Saturday. It added that the driver tried to accelerate away, but the vehicle became stuck in the mud caused by recent heavy rains. The World Health Organization says the Ebola outbreak is now stable in Guinea, where the latest crisis began. There were still some flares up in the southeast, but things were improving in other prefectures, according to the World Health Organization coordinator Gwenale Rodia. More than 5,400 people have died in the latest outbreak, with Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Liberia the worst hit. The UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon has said the outbreak can be ended by mid-2015 if the world speeds up its response. It also warned that although the rate of new cases was slowing in parts of West Africa, Mali, where 6 people have died and the 7th case has been reported, was now of deep concern. There has been more than 15,300 reported cases of Ebola since the outbreak began earlier this year. More than 1,200 people have died of Ebola in Guinea alone. And that's it on the news on the hour. Do join us at the top of the hour for more. I am Sabena Izoku, and thank you very much indeed for watching.